Good morning, everyone. Brittany, I know that you're going to kind of keep me on track because I am kind of, I did take my capsules, and I always say, if you ever question, does our product still work? We can always say that if you watch a live and you watch someone that's just taken their capsules, by the end of the live, it's like they're like up and ready to rock and roll. So I know Lisa was traveling home last night too. So if she jumps on, Britt, just pop it in the thing and I'll be quiet. So good morning. I will tell you guys that gratitude is something we start every single morning with. And I just was I mean, it's a habit. I don't even, I know many of us, we have to get into that routine. I know we have a lot of new people on. And so, you may be saying, why, do we do this gratitude thing? And Brittany, I know you just sent me probably an itinerary, right? You'll just have to guide me, girl, because you know me, hot mess express. I'm here, but I will not stay on track. So I just want you. I don't know if you've been on a while, been on with us for a while. What your process is, whether it's a notebook or it's a gratitude journal, 5-minute journal, 5-second journal, whatever it is. My process is literally I wake up, I take my capsules, and it is a verbal, it's a mental. I don't have to have a book. Now, there's some times when I have to recenter and reground, and I'm having a rough week or rough day, and I have to go, you know what? What are some things I'm really grateful for? And I sit down and I physically journal that. But for me, it's just I've created a habit. And so why we talk about that in the morning is because gratitude, what I believe gratitude does is it elevates your thinking, it elevates your mind, elevates your heart. And organically throughout the day, you're going to go through things. It's Monday, and not everyone loves Monday. And, there's going to be people that are going to cut you off in traffic. There's going to be people that are going to be grouch fest. There's going to be people that have not said yes to thriving with you yet. And even as a thriver, you may have a not so great, start to the day. The kids may be dragging. But if you start up here and you start in that space, what I love is that it gives you an opportunity to start here instead of here. If you start here and then go down from there, it's just like it's all downhill. But I really encourage you, whether you're starting to journal, whether you are starting your business, whatever it is, use that time so that you can get into a habit or routine. Okay. Drinking water. If you're learning to drink your water, use a jug, use an app, but eventually it's going to be a habit. So this morning I woke up and as y'all know, we just got back from traveling. And as far as I know, and I'm going to stand on this and believe it, that everybody is healthy at home. Nobody's had delays, no issues. That's where my heart was. And as I shared with you guys last week, a couple weeks ago, there was a little bit of, tension. There's just a lot of things going on. And so this morning I was just like, I'm so thankful for a great weekend. I'm thankful for healthy business partners. I'm thankful for healthy friends and lots of things in my personal life. But I was thankful for my puppies. They were so happy to see me. I got lots of licking and kisses all in the ear and up the nose. And so I just, I just had so much this morning to be thankful for. So anyway, I know over my minutes there, but Britt, but I just want you to understand the importance of that gratitude. There is always something to be grateful for. As we were in just a different country, just the gratitude of being able to do this thing from home, being able to to have just a little extra income. A lot of times it's, well, I'm just thriving for free, or I'm just, that's still something to be so very grateful for. And even in the darkest times, even in the most trying times in life, we can always find something. And there's always going to be someone else that is going through something just a little bit, a little bit harder than the journey that we're on. So, Brittany, I don't know what the itinerary is, but go ahead and guide me, and I'll walk. I'll walk with you on this morning. I know I just kind of stepped up, so just let me know what my next thing is, and then I'll go from there. I do good flying by the seat of my butt pants.
So we normally talk about team news, Lavelle news. So you talked a little bit about Cabo. Let's talk about some team news, maybe a recap of Cabo for people who didn't go, how they could talk about it, how they could share about it.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Puerto Vallarta is bomb, baby. And if y'all want to be jealous, look at this tan right here. Woo! I'm not going to show you all my boobies, but I'm going to tell you this. Get to Puerto Vallarta, okay? And here's the thing. A lot of times people will say, well, I can't go. I have something else on my schedule. I am, that I already have a pre-booking. Look, if you are running this as a business, you work to qualify, okay? So, I don't care if you have something and you're like, oh my gosh, that date, it just does it's a conflict. We qualify, okay? We don't leave anything on the table. And the thing that you will learn, whether you're brand new or you are a veteran with us, is that Lavelle is always going to keep putting something on the table. I really believe, and y'all know January, my word was expected. That's a new word. I have a new word for this month, but we were safe. I was apprehensive. I wanted to see kind of how things were going to go, and whether you are, vaccine or no vaccine. I know a lot of people are feeling like things are going to be a little bit better by then, that we're going to have not as many, things that surround it. So right now, start working on it. And we actually had a leadership a meeting about on Saturday. And Camper was just saying, like, we are moving forward. We're moving forward with precautions. We're moving forward with excitement. We're planning those events. And I could tell in his heart, he was so ready. Guys, it was so good. Many of us were like, are you hugging or you're not hugging? I did the whole fist bump. I did my mask. I wanted to be careful. But I'm going to tell you, Puerto Vallarta is going to be bomb. And it's going to be beautiful. And Lavelle does not spare any expense when it comes to our lifestyle getaways. So right now is your time. Start posting pictures, and you don't have to post every single day. I'm excited to go to Mexico, but maybe make that once a week in your planner. I'm looking forward to a vacation. Who can I take with me? I need to bring a guest. Who can I bring with me? As you know, that we just launched our.
Can I pop on real quick about getaways?
What?
Can I pop on real quick about getaways?
Oh, yeah.
So, like she was saying, whether you plan on going or not, run your ass off like you are planning on going. I worked my butt off for this trip, was not able to go because of 7,000 reasons. Passport never showed up. We had a dog foster mom and a million puppies. There's just everything was against us, but I ran like hell for it. I got it, and I shared about it. Even though I wasn't able to go, I was able to say, I qualified for this. Hi, dog. I'm able to share other people's pictures. That's inside my mouth, not acceptable. So do that, qualify, whether you think you're going to go or not, whether you think you can earn it or not. I didn't think I was going to be able to earn it, but I ran like hell and I did it. So now I get to share about that, even though I wasn't there. So I think run.
Yeah, and there were so many conversations, and having those conversations with people where they said people are missing community. People are missing, and we've talked about that. Y'all have said that for like 12 months now. But that is the thing, and make sure that you qualify. And if y'all know me, y'all know I'm always going to say I believe that there's a reason, and there was reasons. There were people that said, my passport didn't show up, and I'm glad I was at home because something happened at home that they needed to be home. And you have to trust that. You have to trust that there is a purpose and a plan. We get in a spot where we want to be a leader. We want to be 12K, 40K, 200K, but we don't prepare. And what happens is then you get that person that comes into your organization and your team, and they're a boss babe, they're a powerhouse, and you're not ready to lead because you have not prepared. So that's the thing. We prepare and we get excited. So Thrive Biotic came out. I'm super excited about that. Jason did say that is not replacing our balance. That is just providing additional gut health. And I will tell you, you don't need me to tell you this, because mainstream media is telling us we need more vitamins, we need more minerals, so you may think, well, this is overkill. This is, how can I also market this? Well, balance is one of my favorite things. And, we have to make sure that, we are never making any medical claims. Medical claims, that can jeopardize everything. We have to protect our checks, but, and this is not a product, call, but the thing is, and Jason did say he's going to have the product call. We're going to talk a little bit more about the product and what's just come out, the new DFT. And so know this, that people are thinking, doctors are saying, get extra vitamin D, get extra zinc, get extra. Now, I understand, and I know that if my body is not lacking in an area, our bodies are going to just process it out. And we talk a lot about product that, you're just, peeing product, peeing cash down the drain. Well, right now, even though, some people might not be deficient in a specific area, they are still thinking and wanting to do everything they can. So what I'm thinking about probiotics is being proactive in taking care of my body, not knowing, I'll talk about the DFT, not knowing what my body will need a day from now, 5 days from now. I feel great today. I did travel, and so, who knows what my body's going to need. So I want to be proactive. And so that is how I am marketing. That's how I'm sharing that. And just everything begins in the gut. And we don't need to be a product expert. I did that in the beginning, guys. This year is my February is my 7-year anniversary with Lavelle. And so I've seen a whole lot. And in the beginning, I tried to be a product guru, because that's where my heart was. That's why I started, not for a business, but for the product. But what happens is somebody will see and hear and watch me and go, wow, I'm not medically inclined. I mean, I don't know anything about probiotics and gut health. I could never promote that product. So make sure, make some funnies, have fun with it. You don't have to talk about pooping all the time, but if you need to say, for me, you will see something today, and I'm just going to say, guys, did anybody else have this issue? I was gone for 5 days, and although I really work on my gut, things were not moving out of my body like I planned. So I'm thinking now that I'm home and I have my balance that I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 20 minutes. I'm going to have fun with it because people do think about it. Now, I'm comfortable talking about stuff like that. So, it's just those sorts of things. Then again, I'm going to mess up the names because I don't have my notes in front of me. But our newest DFT. Now, they did throw some DFTs out at the white party, but then at the leadership, Saturday at our leadership meeting, they gave everybody a DFT. One DFT, how rude is that? I had someone give me one, and then somebody didn't get one, so I gave them mine. And then I had one more DFT, and I had it hidden in my purse. And one of my girls, I saw her walking, and she was like, "Oh my God, the new DFT!" And she just had that face on her where I had to give my DFT away. And I told her, I said, "Okay, you look really tan and you look kind of brown like me. So take some pictures that don't have your face on them so I can post about it." She said she's feeling, yesterday she said, "I'm feeling a little bit jiggy." And if you were there and you did get the DFT, say hey or something in the comments below, because I have to be honest, I did not get to try it, but they did say it's intense. Jason said that he put a little bit of everything in this. And so Maggie says, "Good morning to y'all." He says that he put a little bit of everything in this. And like I said, several of the leaders that took the product, Jason even said he had to take it off. So here's the thing. Don't be freaked out about it. Susan Kaufman got a whole package. Susan, you little crazy person. Hey, unmute yourself real quick. Tell us what you felt, because I don't ever like to talk about something I don't know. And you don't have to unmute if you're not all glam.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm not taking the camera off, but I'm
that's
fine.
Okay. Hey, tell us what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I was super nervous because he did say he had to take it off. That was kind of crazy. I cannot wear Ultra. Ultras give me a headache. I can wear Burn. I can wear Black Label. I can wear a regular DFT. So I was nervous. But I promise y'all, I put it on that morning, and probably 15 minutes into that meeting, it's like I felt that euphoric feeling come over me. And I just looked at Lindsay and I said, that patch just kicked in. And she was like, "Oh my gosh." But it was great, and I felt great all day. I didn't have to take mine off. It actually came off after I got in the pool that afternoon, but probably because all the sunscreen that's in the water kind of slimy. But then I wore it all day yesterday and flew. And I want to say that maybe it's making me really thirsty. That's the only thing I've really noticed so far. And I wonder if all of us who wear DFTs all the time are going to notice something right off, because we're used to all those vitamins, as compared to somebody who maybe is just using a regular DFT all the time or doesn't thrive. So I'm interested to hear more of what he says, but I don't have very many left. I gave a ton of them away. So we'll see how it goes.
I love that. Thank you. I'm so glad you were able to give us that feedback, because, here's the thing. We have so many different, this is what you have to know. You have to know that Paul and Jason are still, and I see you guys asking about the ingredients. Susan, maybe you can give us, I don't think we got in, I don't think anybody got a whole pack. I don't know if you may have, but I don't know the ingredients just yet. We'll get that. Jason said he's going to do a product call, so we'll get all of that information. But the thing is that one of the things that we've done that we've kind of evolved over time is, yes, this is a 3-step build system. I want to get all 3 steps in people's body. I want them to understand that we build, but however, the thing also is that there are times, and I know many of you build bundles. I know Brittany is really good about that. What's your budget? How can I get you started? I'm not going to miss getting somebody started on the product because all they can afford is the capsules. But I will tell you, I am strategic about, based on their needs and what their wants, what are they looking for. I'm going to make sure, and what is our number one seller? Do y'all know? You can say it in the comments below. What is our number one seller? Paul said it again. It is our number one seller, and it is those women's capsules, okay? So I make sure that I'm going to get those capsules in people's body. Then the DFT for the, like, Susan's saying, I'm going to make sure that if someone is saying to me, I need aggressive weight loss, that is the new thing. That's what's new coming out. I'm going to make sure that I get that into people's hands. So let me talk to you just a little bit about, your strategy when a product comes out, guys. You are building a business, right? And maybe you are on a budget, maybe you are just getting started. If you are 12 40K, zero excuse. You need to be purchasing at least one of everything. I will admit, I have been a vanilla shake girl for forever, and I don't keep a lot of the other flavors in stock. But when something comes out, Hydrate comes out with caffeine, without caffeine, I know what it tastes like. I know the texture. I know everything about it. So here's the thing. You want to order, your Thrive Biotic. You want to make sure you have your treat meal. You want to make sure that these new capsules coming out, you have to know it is, to me, and I'm not saying I'm the know-all, but if someone sells a product or they promote a product and someone says, well, what about that? I saw someone post about XYZ. And you go, well, I've just really never tried that. I loved what Susan said. And that is the transparency. Is Expand is a perfect example. I have people that have had no medical claims here, but head trauma or concussions, or have walked through chemo and things like that. They loved the Expand. They were so passionate about it. Personally, Expand gave me headaches, and I tried it over and over. But I'm able to communicate that to somebody that I'm saying I'm so passionate about a product. So make sure you get that. And another thing that is amazing is that when we come out with a product like that new DFT, you have all of those products, you cut them up. Those people that have not ordered in a long time, those people that have maybe quit promoting, and you cut one up, you stick it in a thank you card, you send it to them and just say, hey, this new product came out and I know everybody is wanting to get their hands on it. And you know what? You ordered from me 7 years ago and I just wanted you to try it. Here it is. You never know what that is going to, you know what? I've been thinking about restarting. I've been thinking about doing this over again. So they talked about that. They really talked about in our meeting about, oh, I see Lisa's on. Okay, so Lisa, you can interject at any time. They talked about really making sure that we understand that we are our image. We are the image. We are the face of LaBelle. And understanding that people are looking to us to stand out. We've talked about algorithms. We've talked about, and I think I really felt good because some of those things that Paul and Jason were talking about, we as a team do a bomb job. I mean, we teach you guys, we train you guys, we have our lunch and learns. We have so much training. A lot of the leaders do their calls. I know Lisa's got her prospecting calls. We have so much going on. We are just a waterfall of training for you guys. So when algorithms change, when something changes, you guys know what to do. We have that vault. So I felt really good about that. Felt really good about, him talking about how we just have to remember that we are the face of the company. They're not done yet. They did really encourage us to, as it's starting to get back to normal, whatever normal will be, and that's new normal, is start having those prospecting meetings. I've already last night, Pat and I sat down and I said, babe, I want to start doing a lot more of in-person meetings again, if that requires mask up. People are getting back in restaurants and things like that. I personally feel comfortable with that. Guys, you can get, maybe your local area is 5 people max at a table. Do 5 people max. start with what you can, with what you have right now. Maybe you can afford to buy chips and salsa at a Mexican restaurant. Guess what? Those are usually free. Buy a large, a couple of large guacamoles, get people together and start to do that. Because I'm going to tell you that as we're seeing it, FOMO is happening. People are wanting to gather now. And although we're being wise, take the time and be ready to be proactive with that. Really talking about the excitement. Let's go back to, whatever you do, however your leaders train you, but I'm still a Motivation Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, Flex Friday. All of those are still just kind of how I know how to post, as far as like, what's today? And I'm going to post. Another thing that I really want to see us get back to, and I shared this at our Sunset Mastermind that we did on the beach, is, this is 2021, and we really need to get back into phase one. And I also am very, this spoke to myself. We've got to start sharing stories again. Now, what I personally do is I extract the content. I don't hit share a lot, and I'll just be honest with that, because when you do hit share from the fan page, a lot of this, people that have liked that, maybe somebody else's prospects are commenting, engaging. I want a fresh post, but I want to extract that story. I keep it intact. I keep it compliant the way Lavelle has it approved. I extract the story, and then I place that picture. The reason we've got to get back to that is because your story is not going to resonate with everyone. Not everybody likes to run. Not everybody likes to do, crafts. Not everybody has a very aggressive weight loss. Some people need to gain weight. Not everybody wants to stage ready. They just want to feel good and be able to keep up with their family. So I'm really going to focus this month on really being intentional with finding those stories that I love. And finding the stories that are going to resonate with, when we were in quarantine, there was so many nurse stories that I shared in Messenger, a lot of first responder stories. Those were things that people were talking about. That's what was in the news. And so I use that strategy to make sure that I'm talking about the things that other people are talking about. And just remember that we are in a day and age of consumption. And that's not just what we need to be doing is consuming. We need to be producing as well. And so make sure that your Facebook is your storefront. Make sure people know your loves, likes, and interests. If you were on the trip, if you are a batch worker, meaning you create a lot of content on the weekend, use that content throughout the week. I have so many amazing photos from this past weekend, and I have one that it's me laughing on the beach, and I can't wait to share that one. And I am strategic. Almost every single photo that I take, it includes my DFT somewhere. It includes my DFT, and it's a peekaboo. It's a peekaboo. It's not in their face, but at the same time, we need to be aggressive. And we need to make sure that we are talking about the opportunity that we have our hands on. So, Lise, I do have something on my heart just for about 5 minutes before when we get into our devotion time. If there was anything else on the business side that you could think of that maybe I missed, or maybe Susan, anybody that has.
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay. I will just say as a whole, and leaders, if you were there, please interject. It just was a really good time. It was good to see people. It was good to see faces. If you've never been on a lifestyle getaway, what I will tell you, yes, as leaders, were invited to come to an event, and I'll say Jason chewed our tails just a little bit, but that's okay. We want him to, but it was just so good to be around other other people, and just be able to have conversation and hear what's been happening with people. And like I said, be ready. Just understand that you are in definitely a social media era and you're in a social media space. I'm going to tell you guys, I am downloading my friends list today. I'm going to make sure I have that friends list in a physical, tangible, hard copy. Make sure that you have your content, your friends list, your emails, all of that. Make sure, just like you, I mean, y'all know I come from a background of IT. And so I would always say when someone's system would crash or their phone would crash. I mean, think about this. If your phone crashes today, are you backing up? Would you lose photos that are important to you? So, make sure you're going through that. It's time for me again. With everything that happened in the last 30 days, a lot of people got off of Facebook. Lisa did this with one of her challenge groups, and literally you just go through, start with your A's. If you've got some downtime, carpool time, now set a timer. Don't say, I'm going to sit on my phone for 24 hours and go through my friends list. Batch it, do some batch work. Say I'm going to do A through. But again, I am sitting on the plane in the airport. I was able to go through, and there's a lot of people that their profile's no longer there because they've gotten off of Facebook. So I've removed that account, and I've cleared up so that I can open up my new friends, my new algorithm. I am personally still on Facebook. And so, just make sure that you're doing the maintenance work that it requires on the back end. If you were traveling, make sure that you go and look and see who is commenting and engaging on that stuff. Now, like Friday, guys, make sure you're going back. And it's what I call looking at your blue people. Go through last week. We create so much great content, but we don't go back and find out who is commenting and engaging and liking. Again, sharing those stories. And I always say the blue people first. The blue people are the people that are not friends with you. I go look and see if they're thrivers. Personally, I keep those spots for non-thrivers, new people. I made 10 to 12 new friends. I passed out my business card from the time I left Dallas to the time I came back from Dallas. I made new friends, and I made new friends behind my mask. Now, I may have had to yell a little bit, and I felt like my lungs were working out a little bit, but I still had conversation. I still practiced social distancing, but I didn't do anything different than my first trip was Cabo 7 years ago. I was talking, I was, having conversation. A girl and I started talking about our bags. We were just having conversation. And I just said, I don't know if you're into, cards, taking things from people, but here's my business card. I'm going to lay it on the table if you want it. And not one person did not take my business card. I don't do the passing of the phone anymore just because of that. But I still, there were several families on the beach that I said, y'all want me to take your photo? And they're like, oh my God. And they're like, but we don't hold phone. I'm like, no, look, I don't want to hold your phone, but I'm absolutely cool. I'll send it to you on Facebook. I'll send you a private message. I probably took 7 family photos, and that is still how I do things. We think that now because we can't touch, feel, whatever, again, being respectful and observing those things. I don't want to make somebody else sick. I'm still always offering, if you see someone trying to take a selfie, or you see a family, somewhere, hey, I'm not, I know we're not touching people's photos, but I'll be happy to take y'all's photo for you guys. I'll send it to you and I'll delete it right away off my phone. That is a way to still make those connections. And so there's just a lot of things happening, a lot of exciting times. One thing that I will say is that this weekend was good for me to refocus, get back on track and find that center and find that balance. And so I'm ready to rock and roll. Lisa, anything you wanted to cover or talk about? I don't know if you had who you had for lineup today.
No, nobody, because I didn't get
Okay.
asked until like late last night. But first of all, I wanted to ask you, do you feel any different today since this is your first Zoom after getting married?
Hey, yeah. We've been doing this living in sin thing for a hot minute, and but it does because guys, you have to know when it's time. And for very, very long I've been saying this is my guy. He's like, this is my girl. Now, we did already have our first, it wasn't a fight, but it was a conversation, and we had to set some boundaries because he said, so now can I tell everybody this is my old lady? Because he's from the country, he's country boy, and I'm like, if you say I'm your old lady, I'm gonna like backhand you right in front of your friends. So I said, but it does feel good for, to say it's my husband, it's my wife. And, guys, it's just taking ownership. It's just like the business, I am proud. I'm proud. I'm proud to have him as my husband. I'm proud to have him as a man that carries my shoulder, my cares on his shoulders. He's not everybody's cup of tea. He's blunt. But he's mine. And that's the same thing with our product. And is that I am passionate about what I do for a living. I'm not embarrassed. I had a lot of people ask me, like, if you saw the pictures, y'all, literally, we had gotten, again, here's another perfect example, Lise, is you have to prepare. We say, we want this, you want to have this, and all of these things. And we knew that it was time. We were ready to do the thing. And so we had already gotten our certificate. We want to have a big thing. Like, I want my guest list to have like 20,000 people legit. Like, I want to like Kardashian it up, but we know that that's just not kind of, people are just still hesitant. And I do not want to have an event where everybody has to mask. Okay. And that's just me personally. So, but we had already taken care of the certificate. And so it just happened. I told him, I said, babe, it's here. It's beautiful, guys. The whales, it was incredible. The whales were awesome. I did a little thing for our team and some of the people that were there. The starfish. If you've never read the story of the starfish was on my heart. And y'all know me. I'm always quirky I always have to have a thing. So starfish was a super intentional, meaning that you make a difference to the one. Go read the story of the starfish and you'll understand it. And Stephanie G invited us, Lisa, us as leaders, to go on her team excursion. And one of the girls found a starfish, and it just, everything was so perfect. Everything felt great. And literally we were sitting in the cabana, and I said, hey babe, do you want to get married? And he said, like, right now? He's like, you're in your bathing suit and in your ball cap. And I said, yeah, like right now. And so I knew my surroundings. Just like, do you know who needs energy? Do you know who wants to work out? Do you know what people's likes, loves, and interests are on your Facebook? I knew one of my friends is an ordained minister, and she happened to be sitting at the pool in her bathing suit. And I said, well, if you want to marry me, she's an ordained minister, you can go ask her. And he literally walked up to Jamie and he tapped her and he was like, Cass wants to get married now. And she's like right now? And I'm like, yeah. And so, we were prepared. We knew, like I said, when someone is working this business, you have to don't take it personal when they say no, but you have to get personal. And so we knew we had our paperwork in order. We knew we just needed, an official, and it worked out perfect. I had a lot of people pissed off at me because they're like, I didn't get invited. And I'm like, Pat's like, well, don't feel bad. I didn't even get invited either. We just decided to do the thing, and it was perfect. And that's that stepping out. That may be what makes me different than some other people, is I'm not afraid of things that make me fearful. If you know my story, y'all know that this is not my first journey. I've never been walked down the aisle. I've never been given away, and I've still not had that. But I did know that I did not like the feeling of saying, this is my guy. This is, what are you? My fiance. I knew I was ready to say, this is my husband. And You have to know when you're ready. You have to know. I knew I was ready. It didn't matter what I looked like. It didn't matter that I had on my bathing suit and I had cellulite all over the place. It did not matter. It was our time, and it feels so good. And that's what you're going to have with people in this business. It's going to be their time, and you better be ready. You better be ready to lead them. You better be ready to introduce them to the product. When it's their time, I can't tell you how many people that we talk to. Lisa, I was so honored to get to meet. If y'all know Steffi G, she's about 20 minutes away from the next millionaire and this organization. And her, she did some investment property, and she has an Airbnb. And the beautiful sweet lady that was cleaning her house, doing her weeds, was like, she said, "Can I swear?" And I'm like, you're welcome to swear. And so her story was like, she said, asked Steph, she said, "What the F is that on your arm? Like, why do you have that sticker? And how can you live in Minnesota and travel and all these things?" And her and her husband are just so precious. And anyway, she's like, I don't remember, Lisa, if she's in her 60s or 70. But she,
I don't know, but she is. When I first met her, I was like, "Let me guess what your favorite word is, honey." It was funny.
yeah, F word. Yeah. Hey, I have a favorite F word. Mine just happens to be faith. And hey, I love everybody. It's like Jason said. He said, "I want Republicans, Democrats, socialists. I want everybody to thrive." So he's like, I keep my opinions to myself. I exercise my right to my voice, and I go and I vote, but I'll put my product in any race, denomination, political party. I'm like, you go, boy. Yes, that's true. But so anyway, just to go back to that is she was just helping Steph on the side, and she was in Cabo, y'all, as a Cabo. Were we in Cabo? Yeah, I was like, we're in Cabo, Cancun. Cabo as a 12K. How amazing is that? And so, yes, thank you. I'm so honored. Yes, it's there's been a lot of things that I've had to work out on the inside. So I know a lot of people were like, "We didn't even know y'all were getting married." There was a lot of inner work that this girl had to do. And so remember, I've told you guys, share, be vulnerable on Facebook, but there's some spaces inside of me that are protected because even to today, I'm still working through those things. So I don't put things on Facebook that I'm vulnerable about. If I am still healing in an area, I protect that in only my safe circle. So I think that's why Lisa was so, why wasn't I invited is because there are people that do know me and have walked through things, but it's a fragile, vulnerable place. But if you've walked through something and like the fact that I didn't care what people thought about the fact that I got married in a ball cap, I had some opinions. Girl, didn't you want this dress? And didn't you want your kids there? And didn't you want that? That was none of their business. I got to do what I wanted to do. But there's certain components that are still very protective. So we hesitate sharing as a, hey, I know I can't say that I was depressed and struggled with depression when I started this product, but that's the truth. I struggled with depression and seasonal, association disorder, but that's my truth. And I am healing through that. And I have developed coping skills. So I do not have any embarrassment that I've struggled with mental health for 20 something years. That does not embarrass me. It is something that I've had to walk through. So know that is what will draw people into you. They will want to be a part of, they'll want to sign up with your product because they just want to go on the next vacation. They'll want to sign up with your product because they just feel like you understand. Lisa and I were talking about she's getting into some new groups because she's going through new chapters in her life, going through those new journeys. I'm posting on all of the group pages of how I've been gone for a few days and my puppies missed me. Those are those times to engage and be very, very intentional. So Lisa, I'll pass it back to you if you've got something else, because I won't stop talking. I've obviously had my capsules now. So
No, I'm glad you were on. My alarm went off at 4:30 and then I fell back asleep and I woke up at 5:15. I'm like, well, shit, I'm not in the morning Zoom. But you know what? The cool thing is I knew somebody would have me covered. So I figured you would be on. Um, you know, I think this past lifestyle, you want to know what's so crazy? No one asked me for my COVID results, neither airport.
Oh yeah, we did ours. Like they checked them and rechecked them. Now I did fly American, and I did notice the difference. People with different airlines were doing like different paperwork. I know American had certain paperwork, but before you got on, Lisa, that's what I was talking about. I was said, I'm just grateful that that's something that when I woke up this morning, my first thing was, I'm grateful to be home. I'm grateful everybody, like I didn't even hear yet. And I hope nobody did. My prayer is nobody did. But usually, even before COVID, people usually they drink the water. And I'm going to tell you, pro tip for traveler, I always travel with toothpaste, the small toothpaste. And you guys may be like, I'm not going to be wasteful. This is me. And I thank the Lord, I have not gotten sick like from drinking the water. So I never brush my teeth with the water. I always close my mouth when I travel and shower. I throw away my toothbrush. I wipe down everything. This is before COVID. I wipe everything down and like my makeup. I clean my makeup brushes before I leave. I will clean them when I get back. I just do things like that. Our suitcases are in the laundry room and we have some spray stuff. So I just sprayed all that down. Clean or dirty, it's going in the laundry. Just again, being wise, having wisdom, and that's just important. It doesn't matter, people are going to have their opinions. I mean, I'm telling you, I got good, bad, ugly from traveling. But I also shared about y'all. They did that test, and literally it went up my nose, and I think it came out my butthole, like literally. I mean, so I told people, look, if y'all don't think we're being safe, we're wearing our masks. Lavelle's doing their thing, and it really was a good time. We masked up, and we took our tests, whether we wanted to take them or not, and we're just being respectful. I hear people say all the time, that's not my president, or I'm not going to take that test. If you live here and you want to do things, you just kind of have to do it. Okay. So you just do. Lisa, if you don't mind, I would like to just, we have had a couple of people ask us some questions, and I just kind of want to address this. And we do a devotion at the end of every day. We do the 100 Days to Brave. And I had some people, while I was in Mexico, I've had this message come up quite a few times. And since Lisa asked, I said, hey, I want to take some time to just address this. For one, I love the fact that you can be on this Zoom and be at Proverbs 31 level or Tupac or somewhere in between, and you're accepted here. You belong here. No matter the race, faith, denomination, political party, we're all here to help each other grow. And I know a lot of people have their stances. Just like, I can't be friends with, you know what, know your core vision and values. And I understand that there's going to be things that are going to be differences, but I'm going to tell you right now that I have some of the dearest friends. I talk about allowing people to speak into my life. I deny and grant. Like literally someone can be talking to me, and if they don't align with my core vision and values, if they are not on the same page, Susan and I had some heart-to-heart conversation. I would allow Susan to come to me and say, Chas, I'm seeing you do this, and girl, that's just not you. And I believe that she would allow the same thing. There are some people that the second they start talking, I'm like, because I just like, you're not my jam, and you're not going to speak into my life, so, but the question came up is like, I've never, I kind of feel uncomfortable when we do the 100 Days to Brave. I've never opened a Bible. I've never done a devotion. And here's the thing I want to say to you, friend. Wherever you are now, I want to invite you in. I put in the group thing. I'm not going to preach, and I'm not. I want to invite you in. If you want to have a deeper conversation with me on like the 100 Days to Brave, it is a biblical devotion. send me a message. We can chat. But I am going to encourage you. This is just something to start your day. And 100 Days of Brave is just like our gratitude. It's teaching you a practice, whether you meditate, whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in energies, whether you believe in God, a God. I have to know that there is something outside of me that is in control, because I'm going to tell you, friends, I will screw it up. I will F it up. I will, I don't always know. I don't always have the right to know the right thing to do. That's why I always say, get yourself a mentor. For me, the Bible, the devotions, those are spiritual mentors and guidance. Whatever your faith is, I love to know that when I'm away from my children, that I can pray, and my choice is I pray to God, and I do believe in Jesus Christ. Whatever your belief is, you've got to believe that there's something out there. I've studied science. I've studied energies. I believe in. I know a lot of people talk about coincidence. I believe in Godsidence, and some people are on a different spectrum than the other. But what people know about me, and when people know you on your Facebook, they know if they're walking through a trial or something in their life, they know Chas is going to pray for them. So if they don't want to be prayed for, they just won't ask me, and that's cool. That's fine. So just to address why we do the 100 Days to Brave, it is a way to get us going and get our day started just like that gratitude. And I will tell you, Lisa has said it a gazillion times. She has literally sent a message, several times, leaders back out or something comes up, and she will say, hey, who can who can help me lead? And every time, a lot of us, we don't go by our itinerary. Brittany has to kind of go like, hey girls, get on schedule. We don't go by our itinerary, but every time she's like, every time that devotion is spot on. It's spot on to something. So what I want to encourage you is, if you're new to trust, a lot of you guys, when Paul did the very first time, y'all, that I was at an event with Paul, and he did a close your eyes and visualize. Everybody was like, he's like, close your eyes, visualize. And he did this at y'all can say it on the leaders that were there. He did this Saturday. He's like, close your eyes and visualize. And he started talking about that, you were going to have Christmas. And he really just walked us through the Christmas season. And I literally could smell it. But I'll be honest, I was looking around and going, we may have just joined a cult. And it's so crazy, because now I look at things and I go, I can picture Puerto Vallarta. I can picture you guys. I know who I want to be there. I want to have another sunset mastermind, and I want it to be 1 million people on the beach. Like, I already believe in that. I believe that there was no coincidence that the starfish was something that I gave as a gift. And one of our girls found a starfish when we went snorkeling. I believe in those things. And so here's the thing. If I believe in just myself, that I am the only higher power, that I can do all things in my own self, well, what happens when I fail? Then the belief in myself goes out the window. And I always have to say, I believe things happen for a reason, and reasons beyond what I may know why. So I just wanted to say that and preface that, and believe in something.
You know what, Jess? It made me think about the book The Secret by Rhonda Burns. Like, we talk about that book all the time. I don't know if you guys know this, but when that book, especially when it first came out, and still now, very religious people were against that book.
Yes.
They were like, don't read that. They're saying the universe. They're not saying God. And what I would say to anybody is, I get it. I don't go to church every Sunday. And I mean, I still believe in, me personally, I believe in God and I still pray. But, I mean, we always grew up where my grandma was like, you don't have to be in a church to pray. You don't have to be here. Everybody does things differently. what I would say to anybody too that's like uncomfortable is, whether you view the story of the Bible as a story or whether you view it as completely, truth, whatever your thing is, we could be reading any book at the end of this, right? With, it could be The Secret, it could be any book at all that would have little daily, stories with a lesson, with a, with a challenge at the end. And really that's what it's about, is taking the meaning of it and going, I mean, it's crazy every morning how whatever it is, it always fits something that we talked about that day. But I think that, one of the things with this business is being accepting. You've talked about that all morning on this Zoom, being accepting and getting uncomfortable with things you might not be comfortable with, because you are going to have all walks of life that want to join you on this journey. Your next rock star could be the pastor of the church. Guess what? And you're going to hear a lot of coincidences. It's everybody's different. So I think, in order to be the best person you can be, and in order to be the best promoter you can be, you've got to be accepting and open to all of that. And like Paul said, Jason said, you're never going to see him make a political post. Probably you're not going to make him, he's not going to make any, posts on religion, because you kind of stay away from those topics, because you don't want to, push people away from what your beliefs are, because we all have different beliefs. And I think what makes us different as in this business, in this industry, I think what makes us different is that we are accepting of all people, is that anybody can come into this business. I don't care what your background is, where you've been, how amazing you are or aren't in your past. You can come into this business and do whatever you want, and everyone is accepting of that and who you are. And so, I guess I would probably ask myself more than anything is, maybe if you, let's say, have an issue with that, why? Maybe it's time to do some self-development and ask yourself what it is that, because we're not pushing religion on anyone. That's not what 100 Days to Brave is about for me. 100 Days to Brave to me is, it's a lesson that gives us a challenge that makes it just as much sense if I were to open The Secret and give you a lesson and a challenge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I think the more we have to deal with this inside.
And I love, because and this is, you're going to have people that, that won't try your product, that are like, there's no research on it. There's no, what does it have in it? Blah, 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 blah. And then here's the thing. And this is not to get into anything, but this is how I view things in life. They went and got the vaccine. How long has the vaccine been around? But they put that vaccine in. Vaccine or no vaccine, I love you and I respect your opinion, but don't come at me saying, why are you putting that, you don't know the research. There's been no clinical studies. Well, we've only had clinical studies on the vaccine for 10 seconds. So, we have to be open, just because I believe a certain way, but here's the thing. I don't waver. We're echoing. I don't waver in what I do believe. And that is where many of us, we get started in this business. And I know we're going over. Brittany's probably saying, these girls, but it's good. If y'all have to get off, jump off. But this is Monday. We're kickstarting it. Okay. So, we believe in the product. We know the compensation plan has changed our life. We know that every single morning those capsules work. I'll tell you, I had a little bit of some fun on one of those nights, and I needed to get up, and those capsules work. And here's the thing. Someone will tell you that product didn't work for me, or that's a pyramid scheme, or you really can't make that fast money. And you start to compromise what you believe because somebody else believes different. So I wanted to talk about that. And again, talking what Lisa said about The Secret. The Secret changed my life. I am a believer, and The Secret changed my life. But there's also, am I echoing? Is that me? Okay. Anyway, there is also there's also a book, and it's called The Game of Life and How to to play it. And you will look at the parallels between The Secret and a universal scientific, and the game of life and how to play it is very biblical, scriptural. Here's the thing: don't use the excuse to not believe in something, to study, to learn, to grow, to expand, because I don't believe in that, or I don't want to do that. And then the last thing I'm going to say, and then we are going to do our 100 days to brave, is we are in a business, but we do life, and we do not want to just tell you, go get VIP 800, go get VIP 1600, go make money, go put product and capsules in people's body. We want to teach you how to deal with adversity, because if people get in this business and something happens in their life and it knocks them off their center. Brittany, can you mute? I don't.
Lisa took back the controls. I'm trying to log in as her right now.
Lisa, mute everybody.
She won't do that. Hold on. Hey Google, play Havana Nights.
Oh,
I got it.
Okay, I love it. I love that, y'all. I love that we can be real. But anyway, we're going to close, I promise. But we just ran a little over. Y'all are good. Y'all are fine. But if you have to get off, get off. But just know that the reason we do so many different components is because we do life in this business. And we work from home, and we work with our kiddos. So we want to teach you gratitude. We want to teach you to understand, to believe that there's a better plan for you when you can't believe in yourself. To believe that even though you got knocked off your center and life is happening, you can still step back in the game and work this business. So I wanted to bring that full circle and let you know that we as leaders are committed not to just another part of it. If you hit when you hit a 12K or 40K or 50K or whatever bonus, we're going to talk to you about paying off your debt. We are going to guide you. We take, and with all respect, because I raised my children in a trailer house, we take people from trailer house mentality and income. Do not get offended, because I honor the trailer house to the penthouse. And a lot of people don't close the gap in learning how to use that money, learning how to spend their time, learning how to give back, learning how to self-develop, learning how to manage a team. There's a gap. So we want to close that gap for you as a leader. So that's why you're going to see so many components of this morning tribe. So this is why I don't get asked to do it too much, because I don't stay on topic. So 100 days to brave. Let's close it out. And gosh, let's have a great week. I'm excited. If you can't tell. And my capsules work.
All right, so 100 Days to Brave, we are on day 29. Don't mind her, she's just on one today. All right, so chase the dreams that are alive. The purpose of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out. Proverbs 25. Sometimes being brave is walking away from the dreams that have died and the doors that have closed and chasing the dreams that are alive. God plants dreams in our hearts from an early age. He hands us talents long before we know exactly how to use them. And the young ones, they aren't afraid to think about those talents, to push into whatever that dream is, to be brave naturally. I have friends who are sure that life has passed them by, that their opportunity to be brave has come and gone. That is sadder to me than anything. You are not too old. My grandmother was brave until her final breath at the age of 89. If you're reading this book, you're alive. And if you're alive, so is a dream.
Good.
What are the dreams that you can't stop dreaming? Think about that and figure it out, because God wants us to use that dream. God wants us to use that talent. He wants you to take your dreams and talents and use them to point others to him. I love God. He has meant everything to me in my life. He loves me really well. And let me tell you that one of the ways loving God looks like for me, this right here, writing, talking about him, expressing my love to him through the life I live, the people I love, and the causes I serve. I want to live my life in a way that always and forever pumps as much love out of my heart as I can. Do I make mistakes? Constantly and absolutely. Am I a sinner? You better believe it. But every day for the rest of my time the Lord gives me on earth, I want my entire life to love him. Through my writing career and any other dreams that God grows in my life and my heart, God loves to put wings on dreams that his kids chase. Dreams can bring him glory. The task is be brave. What is one dream you hope is still alive in your life?
Gosh, so good, y'all. And that's it right there. She started it out with something about deep waters. We just came back from Cabo, deep waters. Talk about consonants, alignment. And you're hearing that little beautiful baby in the background that's screaming. And Tiff, I want you to stop apologizing for her, because here's the thing. She has a voice. She is vocal. And I was that little girl that got bad grades for talking too much as a little girl. And guess what? I'm using my voice now to reach people. Maybe you were a busybody and people told you, you're just too busy, you need to calm down. And now you're able to multitask. Maybe there's something, and that is that childlike faith. And that's what it's going back to. Going back to believing that you could be anything that you want to be. And we'll close with this. And yes, we ran over time, but y'all give us grace, okay? You may have wanted to be a mermaid, a doctor, a lawyer, and y'all heard this a million times. And someone said, mermaids aren't real. So your dreams diminish. A doctor, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to solve all of the things. Well, you know, you struggle with ADD, ADHD, you got some learning disabilities. And so your dream diminished. And then a lawyer, and then they're like, oh, well, you have a problem telling the truth as a little kid, and that diminishes. Go back to that childlike where you were and you believe that you could, because you can, my friends. So let's go make today an amazing day. I'm going to let Brittany do our giveaway. I am going to put this out there because I caught wind. I'm not going to tell who told me, but I heard there's Vibe Tribe Morning Tribe shirts, and I don't have one. So Lisa K. Fuller. But anyway, that's what I'm wanting. So anyway, Britt, go ahead and thank you for showing up for us and doing everything and serving us. I know you're preparing for your 200K team, and you're fierce. So we are grateful for you. So pick us a winner.
All right, you guys drop one thing that you learned below. And I'm going to hit stop recording. Do you guys want to see these cute little puppies? I can't put it on a recording, but I can show y'all. Let's see. Pick a winner real quick. Dun, dun, dun.
I love you guys, y'all. I love this. I love it. Hey, make sure you're inviting your friends and inviting people. A lot of people can watch this while they drive. Okay, I'm going to shut